Hello everyone, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm Felicia Killian, founder and president of Younited Hearts, a 501c3 nonprofit that is working hard to serve our communities and protect our children. So I want to thank you on behalf of Younited Hearts for being here, and I want to welcome you. I'm so glad that you're here to learn more about fentanyl's deadly impact on our children and its devastating impact on our communities, as well as what we're currently doing to battle this epidemic with partnerships and with technology to protect children and create and foster resilient communities. So whether you're here on the auction portal, Go Rally, or coming in from a live stream on Facebook, I just want to welcome you and say thank you again for being here. Okay, real quick, I'll let you know about the agenda for today. There is a live program with 5 guest speakers. We'll be talking about the landscape of fentanyl, what it looks like, what's happening, and what we're doing to combat it, and how we are partnering with local agencies and law enforcement and parents and educators, all in a and coupled with technology, all in a holistic way to eradicate this epidemic from our youth population and our communities across Riverside County and Orange County, and then statewide and thereafter nationwide. So thank you again for being here to listen to those speakers. First, we'll have myself on behalf of Younited Hearts, and we'll talk about the nonprofit, where we have been, where we're going, and the technology we are developing to protect kids from fentanyl. Next, we have Rodney Tethel, the Assistant District Attorney for Riverside County, and he'll talk about the current landscape of fentanyl and what's being done on this in terms of law enforcement and prosecution. Next, we'll have Assembly members Bill Asaley and Lori Davies talk about their respective districts and how they're attacking this problem as well in order to most serve the communities. Next, we'll have Miguel Paredes, Vice President of Artificial Intelligence and Computer Science from Albertsons, come to talk about app-specific solutions and technology behind the app and how we're going to leverage AI to make the app better and serve more kids. And then lastly, we'll wrap it up again. I'll be here again to close out the ceremony, introduce them as musicians, and invite you into a partnership with our organization, letting you know how to do that. And then we'll talk a little bit about the raffle and all those fun activities at the end as well. At the end of the program, there will be music from 3 guest musicians that have graced us with their talents to be a part of our mission. And so I want you to enjoy that music. And then, of course, there's the live auction where you can show support and love for the Christmas tree hosts and decorators who've so kindly got involved with our mission as well to protect these kids and decorated these things massively. So you can vote with your bids and vote for the best Christmas tree. That'll be a lot of fun and help us with our cause as well. I hope you enjoy that. We're trying to make this program fun, but also very informative and action-led. So with that being said, thanks again for being here, and I'm excited to welcome you to our family. And I hope that you consider joining forces with us to fight fentanyl and protect our children and our communities. As the first speaker for today's program, I'd like to talk to you about Younited Hearts as an organization, where we came from and where we're going, and how we are creating an app to solve this problem alongside our partnerships with others in the community. So I'm going to start that by telling you a story. When I was in high school, there was this girl named Heidi. And Heidi was someone who always got bullied and teased for what she wore. Her story always stuck with me. So even as a small child, I always cared about children and their welfare. And it just really bothered me that she didn't have a chance to adjust in her current financial, economic situation and her social standing. She didn't have a chance to just kind of blend in, and she didn't have the clothes. So later on in life, when I had been a teacher and IT consultant, that was my career for about 6 years, thinking of apps and digital strategy, and I just wasn't fulfilled. So I decided to scrap my my work and just do nonprofit and fulfill my passion for people, and specifically for children and human trafficking survivors. So we started with resources to give you clothing and backpacks to children in need, as well as human trafficking survivors. And then we expanded during COVID to business educational programs to empower kids. We went from resources to empowerment. And then quickly we realized that we needed more than empowerment. We needed to reach into our local communities and protect children from fentanyl. There are more deaths from fentanyl than there were from COVID. That's why we decided to do this, because nothing's being done. There's not a clear picture of where fentanyl's effects are the greatest, where the pockets of communities that are affected the most. And there's not a clear path of where it's flowing next. And there's not a clear strategy as to how we can intervene on behalf of the children in our communities. I quickly realized that I needed to come up with a solution that engaged kids in a way that they like to be engaged. So our solution, the Fentanyl Fighter, is a three-pronged solution. It will involve law enforcement and first responders, educators and teachers, as well as parents and then children. So for law enforcement, the fighters, the protectors, we're going to be able to keep tabs on the flow of fentanyl, right? Where there's pockets, what communities are vulnerable, and how we can intervene in that and how we can address those problems. For educators and parents, we'll be able to give them the resources they need to reach the kids, to educate them on how serious this is and how it's very real for them. Students just like them. So they'll be able to share stories and testimonials of kids just like them who died or got poisoned by fentanyl. Thirdly, the children. So a way to engage them, to keep them captivated and consuming educational content and testimonial videos because of the incentives, because of sharing, because of interaction and gaming, interest-led rewards and incentives, different ways to get them to consume content and earn points and rewards for doing so. Because of these three pillars, we're going to be able to have a holistic, multifaceted approach to protecting the children in our communities and stopping fentanyl from ravaging our communities. So I just want to say thank you again for being part of our mission and being willing to be here and learn more about this issue that is very important and first on my heart. I want to welcome you to our cause. After this program, I encourage you to reach out and continue the ongoing conversation. With that being said, I would love to introduce Rodney Tethel, Assistant District Attorney for Riverside County, and he's going to talk to you about the current landscape of fentanyl and what they're doing to prosecute criminals bringing drugs and fentanyl into our local communities and what they're doing to prevent that from happening.
The fentanyl epidemic is unlike anything we've ever seen from a public safety standpoint and from a prosecutorial standpoint. Every year for the last several years in Riverside County, we've seen the death toll double due to acute fentanyl poisoning. The lethality of fentanyl is terrifying. A lethal dose of fentanyl is 0.2 milligrams, which is 1/2,500th of a teaspoon. Putting that into perspective, this would be the equivalent of 5 to 7 grains of table salt. An amount that small is enough to kill an average adult. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine. And while it has killed many of our adults, our teenagers have also fallen victim to the lethality of this drug. As of September 17, 2023, Riverside County has already had approximately 349 fentanyl-related cases and deaths, and 125 of those cases have occurred in the Coachella Valley. Equally terrifying, the drug dealers who are providing fentanyl to others know full well that this drug is deadly. And knowing this, they are choosing to continue to distribute and sell this poison to our community. They're essentially playing Russian roulette with their own lives and all the lives of the people in our community. District Attorney Mike Hestron and the Riverside County District Attorney's Office are committed to taking a strong approach in prosecuting fentanyl drug dealers and those involved in distributing this lethal substance. Our office is at the forefront of these endeavors. We actively pursue murder charges against individuals who knowingly sell fentanyl or substances containing it, fully aware of the inherent dangers. Notably, Riverside County recently secured the state of California's first second-degree murder conviction in such a case. The defendant in question supplied a fatal dose of fentanyl despite being well aware of its lethal potential. One of the most important things you can do if you're a parent or you're someone who has some influence on the life of a young adult is tell them how dangerous fentanyl is. Google the M30 pill. Show them this pill online. Talk to them. This pill and any other pill that looks like a prescription pill but did not come directly from a licensed pharmacy must be treated like it contains a deadly amount of fentanyl. Our kids need to know how dangerous this drug and any drug on the street which can be laced with fentanyl really are. We have an opportunity to literally save lives. Community education is what is going to allow a person presented with a situation involving drugs to have the knowledge to choose between their own life and death.
Now I'd like to introduce to you Bill Asaley, Assemblyman from the 63rd District. And he's going to talk to you about his district and what they are currently doing and all the initiatives and laws they are working on to fight this problem.
Hi, I'm Assemblyman Bill Asaley. I want to thank you for inviting me today to say a few words regarding this fight on the fentanyl crisis. Before coming to elected office, I served as both a local and federal prosecutor in our community. And I've seen firsthand the devastation caused by drug trafficking and organized crime. And I understand how the laws have been eroded over the last decade to make it harder for law enforcement to go after and incarcerate people who commit these crimes in our society. That is why, since being elected, I've co-authored several pro-law enforcement bills, including Senate Bill 44, known as Alexandra's Law. I've had the privilege to work with Alexandra's dad, Matt, to try to get this law enacted here in California. This law is a very simple, common sense measure. It says that if you're convicted of selling fentanyl, that you're going to be legally admonished and warned that if you ever sell again and if somebody dies, you can and you will be charged with murder. This is exactly what we do in DUI cases, and it has been an extremely effective deterrent to basically keep people from reoffending. And it's just common sense. And the fact that it's been so difficult to enact it should really tell you all you need to know about the current culture we have in Sacramento. We're not going to give up. We're going to try to get this law passed one way or another, and we will renew those efforts again next year. I want to thank you all for what you're doing and staying strong in this fight, and I want to thank Younited Hearts for all that you've done to bring this event together tonight. So thank you very much, and I look forward to working with all of you.
All right, so I will bring in Assemblywoman Lori Davies now to talk to you about her district and what they are doing to combat this crisis.
Hello, I'm Assemblywoman Lori Davies, and I represent California's 74th Assembly District. The fentanyl crisis is real. In a stunning report, fentanyl was found to be responsible for 1 in 5 deaths among 15 to 24-year-old Californians in 2021. Yes, 1 in 5. The issue of fentanyl is quick to be politicized, but this isn't about politics, it's about policy. I've made it a commitment to work with my colleagues across the aisle and throughout the state to ensure this important issue remains a top priority in Sacramento. In my first term as Assemblywoman, I authored Assembly Bill 381, which would require all drug treatment centers to carry the opioid overdose emergency medication, naloxone, on site at all times and have staff trained on the administration of it during emergencies. This was a common sense, life-saving measure that was signed into law. In 2022, I authored Assembly Bill 1598, which reforms California drug paraphernalia laws and states that any testing equipment meant to detect the presence of fentanyl is no longer considered paraphernalia. This bill allows the general public to purchase and be in possession of things like testing strips or other future technologies as they become available. Again, common sense solution at tackling this crisis. This year, I authored Assembly Bill 1362, which would allow school districts to include information on the physical and mental dangers of taking opioids like fentanyl into existing physical education curriculum. Although this bill wasn't signed into law, we put another spotlight on this issue and remain hopeful for the future progress. We must continue to leverage technology as a vehicle to create more awareness about this issue. Kids are going to school on Friday and dying on Saturday because they don't have the proper information. Enough is enough. It's time to put politics aside and start focusing on policy that matters for our students and families. I'm Assemblywoman Lori Davies, bringing common sense solutions to California.
Lastly, I'd like to introduce you to Miguel Paredes, Vice President of Artificial Intelligence and Computer Science for Albertsons. And he's going to talk to you about the technology we're using and how we're going to leverage AI in that technology to protect kids from fentanyl.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming tonight to tackle such an important and hard problem. My name is Miguel Paredes and I'm an advisor to Younited Hearts, and we're using artificial intelligence and the app to try to tackle the epidemic of fentanyl that is attacking our youth. This is a very hard problem, and we want to tackle it together. Parents, law enforcement, policymakers, communities, schools, we need all of you, and we need to leverage this collective intelligence and use this app and use artificial intelligence to really understand where the problem lies, where there'll be the next hotspots of this disease, to understand how it's happening, how it's being consumed and transferred. We want to be able to identify these things, and we can do it with artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a general purpose technology, which, similar to electricity, another general purpose technology, will transform the world. It can help us create new things. We want to use it to understand behavior. Kids using the app, leaving us comments, interacting, providing feedback. It'll allow us to segment them to understand their risk to this problem and help us be able to track it and stop it. So thank you so much for coming tonight, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you.
That concludes our speaking portion of this program. I just want to encourage you guys to stick around for the music. There'll be 3 live musicians coming in to bless us with their talent as their way of saying thank you and being involved in our mission and helping us further that mission to protect children from fentanyl. And at the end of those performances, I encourage you to show love and support to our generous Christmas hosts and decorators who have so graciously decorated those beautiful trees that we're auctioning off. And there's some other items that you can buy entries for, and then of course you can enter to win for free in the raffle as well. So again, thank you on behalf of Younited Hearts. I am so happy and honored to have you here today, and I hope that we can continue the conversation and partner together or join forces to protect the kids in our communities against fentanyl and create more resilient communities in the future ahead. Now it's time for the musical portion of our program. Super excited for this portion, and I hope you guys are too, and I hope you enjoy it. There's different musical styles and artists in this next portion of the program to close us out, and I hope you find it enjoyable. Let's give them a round of applause, and we really appreciate them showing up to partner with us and just bless us with their talent. And first is Dare House. Wonderful guy. This is produced by Michael Tukes, and it's fantastic, so I hope you enjoy.
Once again, you're listening to Dare House for Younited Hearts. I chose this song because you never know what someone's going through. And sometimes we definitely have to stand by each other. Because one spark starts the fire, so we should send it on. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light, then we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, won't you stand by me? Won't you stand? Oh, please stand by me. If the stars that we look upon, ooh, shall tumble and fall, and the mountain will crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, won't you stand by me? Won't you stand? Won't you stand by me? So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, won't you stand by me? Won't you stand? Won't you stand by me?
And here's Roger Lemieux from Roger and the Roadhouse Rebels.
We're doing this for the Younited Hearts Foundation as they tackle the fentanyl epidemic. This is a song that was written by Willie Nelson, and it's all about the redemption of somebody struggling with drugs. Somebody pick up my pieces. They're scattered everywhere. And put me back together. Put me way over there. Take me out of contention. I surrender my crown. Somebody pick up my pieces. It's just me coming down. Well, I sure thought I had her. Now I know she had me. And what I thought was heaven was just falling debris. And I may not be crazy, but I got one hell of a start. Somebody pick up my pieces. Lord, I'm falling apart. And don't follow in my footsteps. Step over my trail. And the road is too narrow. And your footing could fail. And I'd fall to the bottom, well, I could tear you apart. And I'll be picking up pieces of you and your heart. No, don't follow in my footsteps. Step over my trail. The road is too narrow, and your footing could fail. Oh, and that fall to the bottom, and I could tear you apart. They'll be picking up pieces of you and your heart. They'll be picking up pieces of you and your heart. All right. Should we do that again?
And now we'll hear from Dare House again.
Their house for Younited Hearts. A lot going on, y'all. What's going on? Mother, mother, there's far too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. Now, you know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Father, Father, shoo-doo, there's no need to escalate. You see, war is not the answer, shoo-doo, only love can conquer, hey. Shoo-doo-doo-doo-doo. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Picket signs, picking lines. Don't punish me with brutality. Yeah. Talk to me so you can see what's going on, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on. Mother, mother, everybody thinks we're wrong, but who are they to judge us? Ooh, simply 'cause our hair is long. Hey, you know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Picking lines, picket signs. Don't punish me, brother, with brutality. Oh, talk to me so you can see what's going on, what's going on, oh, what's going on. Let's rock, y'all. What's going on? 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 Somebody tell me what's going on.
And finally, let's welcome with big applause and excitement our closing artist, Brad Mercer from the Brad Mercer Band.
Hi, I'm Brad Mercer, and I'm here to share a concern very close to my heart. I'm talking about the problem with fentanyl and how it's affecting our youth, what the solution is, and how you can help protect all the children. In the meantime, here's a song of hope for all concerned and for the children. Thanks for watching.
Mercer and Sutter. Sitting here, feeling down, have to leave this dismal town. Paranoia setting in, don't know where I'm going, don't know where I've been. Simple times are long gone. I hear you calling, it won't be long. Sounds of promise on the rise. I hear you calling, I hear your cries. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Don't you know I'm coming home? Sometimes I feel so confused. Heartbreak City on the loose. Should I leave or should I roam? Or should I leave this one alone? I feel you calling out, I hear you loud and clear. The light is shining bright, I see it in the mirror. I feel you calling out, I'm shunning all the fear.